Let's go.
And then... Okay. Is the food... Yep, there we go. There you are. All right. You all ready to go?
Yeah, I'm good to go.
All right, super. Welcome to another episode of Sketchalog, everybody. I'm your host, Soul King Xander. I'm here to catalog the heroes, villains, creatures, and other sort of things that I come across on my journeys. And today I'm joined by my special guest here. Would you like to introduce yourself? Give us your name, what kind of content you make, and how long you've been making it for?
Right. My name is Ophanem, or just Nem, is how most people call me. I am an artist, VTuber, and I've been on and off streaming for about 3 years. But mostly I do art still, even if I don't stream it.
Awesome, awesome. And then, how familiar are you with like VTubing in general? I know you said you're an artist, but are you like, is this like an anonymity thing for you, or are you just a the kind of person who are you like a big a fan of VTubers?
I would say I'm pretty familiar. I'm not in the weeds of it. I don't, as of recently, or like before recently, I didn't really involve myself too deeply with the community itself, but I just really like the idea of virtual avatars, and I also just really, it's definitely an anonymity safety thing. But it's not like I am desperate to keep my face hidden. I just, like if people I get to know want to see my face, they can see it. But I just would rather the general internet maybe not know, to just keep a certain level of safety.
Sure, sure, absolutely. Um, so how'd you end up coming up with this design here?
It it's been a long road of design. Actually, it has evolved greatly and changed a lot the past, like, I would say 5 years.
Okay.
Because originally it wasn't really a VTuber design. Um, but it started becoming one, and the design, it's a bit hard for me to properly, you know, remember the steps I took to get here. But basically, just originally wasn't an angel. Um, but then I decided I think I was originally actually like a demon, and then I was like, well, maybe I can do half and half. And then I was like, I feel like half and half is a bit too difficult in certain ways. Like, oh, if you're designing something like in a game, maybe you can't do half and half. You can only choose one specific thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I also found that the half and half, like the original design in many parts had like split down the middle, like physical halves. And I was like, that's a bit, doesn't look the best. And
Mm-hmm.
so I just kept workshopping it. I kept changing it. I kept getting help from friends to design certain parts. And eventually I just managed to. It also came with, a name issue. Like, I didn't know what to name myself. I. Because more than just like a VTuber design, like, you can just grab, like, oh, random Japanese name that means whatever your design evokes. Like, oh, your design is very dark. You go with, oh, I'm Kuro. I'm, this or that. Like, I could do that, and it's like, since the design isn't you as a person, you can choose a name that isn't yours. But to me, it also originated from just wanting to find a name that I'd like to be called.
Okay.
And so I had to, like, what's a name I want? What's something that sounds like what's something that sounds natural for me to respond to, like feels natural to me.
Yeah.
And so through a lot of things, Angel, the Ophanim is a biblical angel, the throne angel, the classic wheels of fire with eyes and wings.
Mm-hmm.
And so I decided, you know what, that's pretty cool. It's a slightly different spelling of the way it's actually spelled, like, biblically.
Mm-hmm.
People struggle to pronounce it many times, but I have found that when it mostly happens when you're in a chat, because, streamers have to focus on a lot of things. So reading your name and figuring it out can be hard, but if you're like in front of them, person to person, talking to them, like if you meet them in a space where they can focus more on you as a person when they're talking to you,
Mm-hmm.
most people get it right, which I was, it's really reassured me recently because I was really, really insecure about the name being hard to read. It's especially hard because people combine a few of the letters at the end. Like the X is only there because I couldn't get the actual username
Mm-hmm.
in on Twitch. So sometimes people group the M and the X at the end and just read the first few letters. It gets confusing. So in the end, I found it. In the end, I am pretty comfortable with this design. It is a character and design that I would like to embody, but I do think eventually I might play with other designs in the future.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. I feel like this is always my favorite question to hear people's answers for because it's never the same thing, and it's always fascinating to hear different people's perspectives on like where they sort of came up with this whole thing.
Yeah.
So now that we've kind of gotten the backstory of your design, do you think we can get the I guess backstory of your design? Do you think you can give us just like a quick like elevator pitch of like your lore if you have any?
Right. Um. Sure. The design is. So basically, you have just like a biblically accurate angel, one of God's angels, basically.
Mm-hmm.
The throne angel, it often is called the wheels to God's throne. And so I was like, okay, wheels. Sure. That also means going fast. That to me sounds like, I really like the design aspects of like race queen and NASCAR outfits and many different other VTubers and media, and so I was like, okay, so they're an angel, but their modern design is that of like a some form of NASCAR driver slash race queen slash what is this like just like you can see in the outfit it's like a NASCAR like a racing outfit tied around the waist, like it's unzipped and then lace around the waist and it's tied.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And so I that's basically it. The lore, there's not much to it other than, aura farming and being like, I'm so strong. Because there's some ideas I have about, like, power and stuff. Previous aspects of the design, sort of like the color. Every part of the design that's like the reddish pink is supposed to be able to change color.
Okay.
I was thinking of, in media, many times it's like the 7 random things that power up the character. Whether it be like, the Chaos Emeralds, or 7 deadly sins or 7 things. The number 7 is really recurrent in media, and I was thinking like, okay, so my power could be like just whatever random things are in your particular lore universe. I go to your universe and I take them, and that's how I power myself. So,
Interesting. Okay.
because many people do have things like, I have a friend who also has 7 different things in lore that they power up with, and coincidentally, 7 is the 7 colors of the rainbow that Isaac Newton, I believe, coined. Which, they're not 7 specific ones, but we traditionally think of the rainbow as having 7 colors. And so I'm like, yeah, fuck it, 7 colors. That's it. I have, and I like having the rainbow of colors that change. It's, lore basically just an angel, race car driver. I would like to explore the concepts of older, like, non-modern incarnations. Like, oh, this angel has probably lived for thousands of years. What did they do before cars were invented? Uh, what what did they do to hide their fact that they're an angel before? And so
Right.
that's basically, that would be a way for me to explore different designs, just like see the way they were before. I also do have a design for the, like, prime angel form that isn't trying to hide to be a human. And I would like to one day nail it down properly, because so far it's a little more undefined.
Right. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. So kind of going back to more like design stuff. I know you're an artist. Is there anything that kind of piques your interest, or like sort of catches your eye whenever you're like you see different and like newer like VTuber designs? Anything that's kind of like that makes you sort of stop and go, "Whoa, what's up with this guy?"
I am a big fan of body type variety. I am. I really like seeing when, like, within the VTuber space, there is a certain bit of variety still. Like, there's a small bit of variety, like tall, small, there is a small variety, but I like when there's even more. When you can see, like, for example, a female VTuber that's, like, actually buff,
Uh
like,
huh.
actually muscular, or a female VTuber or male VTuber that are, plus size, they're big. Mainly female, because they're more famous, like, plus size male VTubers, but female aren't so many, right? Like, seeing a big variety of body type and, like, focus on the design as well as art style. I really, really enjoy when an art style isn't so closely tied to the classic anime art style. I Or even then, that it's not so closely tied to the style that we associate with VTubers, like the painted anime art style. There's this one VTuber, friend of mine, who has an art style that looks almost exactly like a production, like anime, like art style, because it's really different, like anime illustration to the style of an animated, series of anime, that they're a bit simpler but
Yeah, of
still
course.
really pretty. And I think, it's just arts. And especially with Live 2D, it's just drawings. It can be quite literally any art style. And I don't think it has to be anime. And there's nothing bad with it being anime. If people want to, have also, like, for example, their favorite artist be their, like, VTuber parent, that's, like, great. I just think variety is great in design. Uh, what I like to see in the design, just different stuff, new concepts, stuff that is really out there. I also like when a VTuber design isn't afraid to be a little quote unquote ugly, not in the execution, but just in the concept. Like, oh, you don't have to be the prettiest person. You can be like a weird creature, a weird goblin.
Mm-hmm.
I also am a big fan of the classic double, the classic creature and person combo where it's like an attractive person holding a little creature,
Mm-hmm.
and the actual VTuber we're talking is a little creature. I am definitely a fan of one of those.
Yeah. Awesome. 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 All very good. Good picks there. Um, what is the next question? I should know these by now. Uh, my fucking computer is like super slow today. I'm very sorry.
That's okay.
So, all right, okay,
Initially.
I got it. We're back. We're so back. So say you just woke up back to the day you decided to become a VTuber, and everything since then had all just been a big dream. Would you want to do anything differently?
Yes. I currently I am deeply thinking about how to or what I want to do truly about my design if I do want to change it up, because I feel like I would like it to involve certain parts of my real life that I think are interesting. You know, like an angel VTuber isn't the most original thing, and I know it doesn't really matter if it is or isn't. But I would, standing out is, standing out in a way that shows who I am is would be important. So as it stands, maybe I do want to change my design eventually. But if I were to keep this design just for the sake of saying I want to keep it, I would have started with this design. I would have simply started with how I am now because I have rebranded a grand total of like about like 4 times. Entire
Okay.
name and design. And so I would simply have not caused that much confusion to the people around me. I also would have gotten my username because I think the person who got the username I want didn't get it until like after I decided to become a VTuber. I just didn't have the name at that time. So I
Okay.
would have gotten my username properly. And yeah, I think that would have been it. I would probably probably gotten my design. It's a little cheaty because I got the design from a designer friend. And so me using that design and pretending it's mine would have been a bit, rude of me. But, at least I would have had the design so I could also, like, properly do stuff like, hey, like draw myself with other VTubers and be like, here's my design. And more
Right.
confident be about it because before I just, like, I wasn't really too confident about my previous designs. Right now, I'm pretty okay with how it exists. And getting more drawings of how I see my design out there will help people draw it as well properly. Because I feel like, I can explain the things to my designer friends and like the artist friends and like the person who did my model. But you can only explain so far. And, my drawings would probably explain it much better. But, in time, I think people will understand
Yeah.
and will know it.
So, what would you say is your favorite part about streaming?
I would say it's a few different things, and it depends on if it's exactly about streaming itself or about what you can do through it. If it's
Um.
streaming itself, I'll go briefly into both
Yeah.
ideas.
Please.
If it's streaming itself, my favorite part of it, it's you know, just having saved memories of my time with people and or games I like, recording my first reaction to things just for the sake of me being able to remember it and have it. And my favorite part is just, I don't do much streaming, but I also just like being able to do whatever I want to do in that specific day and have some form of company there as well. As for what I can do through it, or what I hope to be able to do through it as well, um, it would be, meeting people. For
Mm.
me, streaming, if I ever get to go forth and achieve what I want out of it, it's simply being able to meet people and befriend people and just be able to enter a space and talk to people that I look up to.
Mm.
I don't want to forcibly, like, stick myself in a space and be like, hey, be my friend, be my friend. Like, oh, I'm a creator, or like, oh, I have a lot of followers, be my friend now. It's more of like, it's a barrier of entry that you remove because as a creator, a big creator, I assume you can't just randomly trust that any person on the internet would be, it's specifically as a creator, you can't afford to just have like random friends as easily.
Sure.
So seeing someone who has an internet presence that is, aligned with what you think is like great and who shows themselves to be, someone who you might like. As a creator, you can be like, oh well, I've seen their streams and their content. They seem pretty cool. I'll give them a follow and maybe we can talk. It's opening a door. Even at the stage I am at currently, which is pretty small, all things considered. I've been able to connect in small and large ways with creators that I look up to, and it's great. Like, of course, I've yet to prove myself and my potential to every single person that I meet, but some have entrusted something that is pretty small, things considered, just a follow. Some have entrusted that to me, and I am grateful for it.
Yeah, of
And
course.
I've been able to get pretty substantial opportunities recently, and I'm really grateful to the people who have trusted me with those. And I think if all goes well, it's only up from here, and I don't need money, I don't need fame, I just need, I guess, to stand out. To, like, I appear in an online space and you see me and you don't see like, oh, this is a random Twitter user. You see like, oh, this is another creator. It opens a small door for me to, like, if I have the confidence to be like, hey, nice to meet you. I am Nem, and it goes from there. I want to make myself stand out so that if I look at someone cool, I can be like, hey, and they can see the things I do are cool as well, and they can go, hey, that's it. That's all I look.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, kind of to follow that, what would you say is your least favorite part about streaming?
I would say my least favorite part is dealing with, sort of algorithm stuff.
Okay, yeah.
I know currently I've been not too active with streaming, and I know that I can't expect anything to come out of not streaming, in
Yeah.
terms of streaming prowess and having things happen to me that are good. But at the same time, I know that during the time that I did pursue streaming a bit more seriously a few years back, it always felt like, battling the system, battling the attention, and even now, if and when I return to streaming properly, I know that, platforms don't really like when you take breaks. And so I know it'll not be kind to the fact that I took a pretty substantial break. And so I don't like I like the creative aspect. I don't like have to dealing with, platforms. I don't like having to deal with systems and stuff like with algorithms. But I do like creating, and I hope that I can do my thing and hopefully achieve something. And once the ball gets rolling, I'll do my best.
Ah, fuck. God damn it. I'm really sorry. I've been like fighting with my tablet pen for like this entire time, trying to get it to work, and it just fucking. Yep. Cool. Yeah.
Is it like bad?
Oh, it's broke. It's broke as fuck. It's more broke than I am, which is saying something. Um. Okay, that's fine. We still have the interview, and I can still get to working on this when I can. But, yeah, I'm real sorry about this. I'll send you a picture because it's almost like funny how bad it is.
Okay, yeah. I
Yeah.
might see it's
Yeah, sorry about that, gang. But we lost a good one today, a brave soldier. Yeah. All right. Well, kind of, I guess, going off of that. So I know you do art and whatnot, but do you have do you like you a big like gamer on top of whatever when you make content?
yes. I think in an ideal world, one thinks that gaming is in theory easier to me than art.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like having to art for me is like I enjoy it, but it's pretty difficult, and I find that it often requires really specific focus out of me, which is why streaming art isn't always the best for me. Like, isn't always, it doesn't always go, according to plan. I am very, like, fickle with motivation and inspiration and, like, entering a flow state.
Yeah.
And so often I just need to clear my brain of everything else to achieve that, which means, if I'm streaming, being on a stream and being on top of it and being in the pressure of being present for a stream while drawing can often, bring things down for me. And so I think, balancing it out with gaming, like having people like people come to my stream, they expect like, oh, either really chill just listening to music with art while I focus in the chat vibes, or actually just gaming. And I think in an ideal world I can work off my art and do art for fun.
Mm-hmm.
And that is like a separate thing, and then streams would just be like gaming and stuff. Maybe sometimes mixing it or games that require art and stuff, that would be great.
Mm-hmm.
But I do gaming, yes.
Awesome. Would you say you have anything on the top of your gaming bucket list? Anything that you either want to play or you are like are setting up to play?
I've been thinking that I really like watching, like, whenever I find a certain creator that I like.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoy watching Let's Plays people playing games blind. And
Okay.
not physically blind, just, getting into the game without knowing anything prior.
Of course.
And seeing the first reaction to a game from a person you think is cool, or you've watched before, or whatever, the creator you like. And so, in a way, I would like to, in the future, I would like to think that I will have an audience that people would be like, oh, I would like to see them play this game or play this other game, right?
Yep.
And so I would like to have any really cool games that I play in the future be recorded and streamed, right?
Right.
But at the same time, I'm thinking like, well, I'd actually like to get to a point either by get to a point of either being really entertaining enough that it could be like a YouTube video that doesn't matter when people watch it.
Uh-huh.
Like if they see it in the future, it's like it holds its water, like holds on its own, and it's like good,
Mm-hmm.
even if people didn't know me first.
Yeah.
Or that I get to a point where I have a chat that can enjoy the game live with me, and they go hand in hand sort of. And
Of
so
course.
there are certain games that I don't want to play yet, and I don't want to spoil myself yet until I have more of a presence and an audience that would like to watch me play these games,
Mm-hmm.
or when I get to a point where I feel like I'm entertaining enough to just record it and make YouTube videos off of it, and that people will see it. And even if I become a streamer, they go like, "Oh, I would like to see you play this game." I'm like, "Yeah, I didn't play it live, but here's the let's play of me playing it," right?
Mm-hmm.
Because like many, I just I've definitely felt about some creators like, oh, I like this creator, I would like to see them play this game, and it's like, oh, they already played it and they didn't record their first time playing it, and it's like, oh well, I guess it's all right. Or some games I see that are like so amazing, and it's like, oh, you can never play it again, like for the first time, because
Mm-hmm.
it's that good, and it's like, well, I want to experience that on my own. I don't want to watch it, but I also want I want to have that, and I don't want to just like. There's a certain level of enjoyment with games that comes with playing them in community, I guess. And
Mm-hmm.
so, games in the future that I like to play, the Outer Wilds, or just
Right.
Outer Wilds, I think. I want to play that because I've heard it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to finish Rain World because I did start it on stream, but I ended up not playing more because I felt like I was, a little spotty with it, and not many people were watching, which is, one of the reasoning. And it's like, it's not supposed to be for views, but it's supposed to be to share it with someone and go along the game with someone, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And other than that, maybe more story games. Like, I'm looking forward to having a computer strong enough to run Cyberpunk. Like, mine currently could do it, but it wouldn't look too pretty. So,
Right. Yeah. Okay.
I'm currently working on building my new computer and getting the components for a PC that will actually be able to run it comfortably.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I don't have many other games that I have in mind, but I do keep lists of like games I want to play on stream.
Nice. Nice. And then, do you have any games that are like blacklisted from your channel? Either you think you couldn't make like good enough content with them, or you just don't want to play them at all. Anything like that?
Interesting. I would rather not play Overwatch. I was like big into Overwatch during like the first 2 years of Overwatch 1. I don't think I have much to do in Overwatch anymore that would be enjoyable for me on stream. Um, One particular game I have like a small ick towards is the Coffin of Andy and Lele. I just do not feel particularly positively about that game.
Right.
And any games that would be like too powerful for me that I think I'm ready for and it's blacklisted, I'm sure they exist, but I don't really have a I don't really have a I don't have one on top of my, I guess technically like some of the games that I'm saving for later are technically blacklisted at the moment.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right. Um. So, next question. Do you have an Oshi, a VTuber Oshi that anyone like that for you?
It's weird. It's hard to really say. My main issue is I definitely have people who I support, like, specifically more than others. But it's difficult to really say because, lately I've been a lot more focused on my arts and other stuff and life stuff, so I haven't really been outpouring in support recently, able to catch certain streams for certain VTubers.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never been, the wealthiest to just like have someone I spend a lot of money on, which I can say confidently is like Mayoshi. Like, I don't think I've ever, donated much to someone who wasn't like personally a close friend of mine. Like, oh, they need like a donation because they're going through something or they opened commissions. Like, that's a different story. Like, then I've been, supportive of friends. And saying an Oshi of someone that is closer to me, a closer friend, seems a little, I wouldn't want to play favorites when it's my friends, right?
I mean, like,
So,
I would say that with the concept of Oshis, it's very much, I would say it is very much, for lack of a better term, like a kind of a selfish thing in general. It's like personal, like, your personal favorite, like the person who is
right.
of the
You're like,
highest
yeah.
quality to you. Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to choose current.
Okay.
I think I've had many.
Mm-hmm.
I've definitely said many people are my Yoshi, and if I, in the joking term of the word, and saying it towards just like as many people as possible, I've definitely said many people are my Yoshi.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think currently I have like the one and only. I don't think there's any specific person I support super hard compared to anyone else. I guess what was the shoujo before it exploded was like one of my more like one of my biases, of people I supported, but like not at this point in time. Not anyone being my Yoshi.
Well, do you? I guess. Then in that case, do you have any like particular VTubers that you'd want to just like shout out? Any kind of anyone that you'd want to sort of give a bit of a highlight to, maybe?
Interesting question. I guess a good friend of mine, Nova Polaris. She's been doing great recently, and growing her platform and stuff. And I'm a mod, so I guess it should be my my responsibility to say she's my Yoshi since I'm a moderator. But I guess yeah, Nova Polaris EN on Twitch. That's basically who she does arts and plays games and sings really beautifully. And that's about it. I guess that's the only person I'd like to shout out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay.
can only choose one, I guess.
Awesome. Awesome. Do you, all right. So kind of going toward in the sort of direction of like other VTubers and stuff like that. Do you have a dream collab, like someone that you'd want to have like on the on your stream? Anyone that you'd want to work with in the future? Anything like that?
I think so. I think it becomes a large list of people, but I would say mainly artists, VTubers that I look up to as well, just so we can do art together. If it could be one-on-one, I guess. Really look up to Roots, Apricot, from XV Shoujo. Maybe if not Fruit, then just many people. I've been lucky to coexist in the space with a few of these people, but on my stream I had like not I've never had like a collab directly with them. So I don't dream collab partner. I have to think of it a bit more, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then following that, do you have a dream collab you'd want to like see from the perspective of an audience member, like the between like several creators, like two or more creators that you'd want to see working together, just like independently of you, just as like a Like, oh man, it'd be
I
so cool if
think,
these two did like work together for a thing.
yeah, let me think. I think, I definitely see a large crossover of creators recently. Like, I just, it's been wild. Just you look at certain like servers, like Minecraft servers, or you see certain games that bring people together, like Repo or like, the quote unquote friends lab that I like to use lovingly. Um, and more people have been that you wouldn't see normally collabing have been collabing. So it sort of has been happening naturally, and it's been a treat to see. But if I could put anyone specifically, there's this one YouTuber that I really like. His name is About Oliver. He has a he has basically a YouTube channel. He also streams on Twitch and on YouTube when he plays certain games. He basically does let's plays, edited let's plays on his channel, unedited let's plays of his channel of games, but completely blind and without guidance. Um, and so he will go on there and he will put the chat on screen, but he will close the chat window for himself. And so he's played, for example, Minecraft completely blind, which is a notoriously hard game to figure out without a wiki.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's also played many story games blind, many games that require a lot of like guidance. For example, Rain World, I know he's playing blind, or maybe finished playing. I'm not sure. I just think the way he approaches things is really interesting. He learns a lot on his own, and it's fascinating. I'm not entirely sure if he would be fitted to more normal collabs that I see from other people, but it would be really funny to see him collab with people, especially VTubers, because I think he has no clue whatsoever about this universe, like this whole entire sphere. So I think that would be funny. I don't really have much to say about other collabs because I think the universe itself is doing it pretty well as it stands. Like, you could be just existing and suddenly the Russian Badger is collabing with 4 VTubers and you're like, oh, okay.
Right. Yeah.
Like, just
Of course.
you just see random YouTubers, like, quote unquote flesh tubers collabing with VTubers so freely. Like, the internet has been doing its best to mesh together stuff. I guess if anything, I would like to see some of my smaller creator friends that I think are really cool collabing with larger creators in the future, because I think they deserve a spot in the limelight. I think they can do it.
Awesome. Awesome. And then who would you put on the VTuber Mount Rushmore? The 4 VTubers that you kind of think stand on the pinnacle are kind of like the ones that are the most perhaps important. Might not be the best word for it, but just like the ones that would be deserving of like a monument like that.
Okay. I would say, first and foremost, the Queen, Kisuna Ai. I understand it might be a cliche answer, but it is completely and most definitely true.
Not as
She was
often as you'd think, actually, but still,
really.
yeah.
I think maybe people like to do more modern creators, even though she's back. But she was the first VTuber I ever watched, truthfully. Which is weird to think about because many people got into it much later, and even as someone like me who didn't super get into it, like myself, like you often see people who are creators now, big creators now, citing Kisuna as their inspiration, right? Like, but she was the first VTuber I ever watched. She introduced me to the term virtual YouTuber, and I was like, okay, that's pretty interesting. Um, so she's first, or not first, but she's up there, I
Yeah.
guess. Then the current queen of VTubing, Iron Mouse. I just think it's pretty it's pretty unimaginable to think of a VTubing space without her and her influence. Um, just it's an amazing story. Her story is just amazing. She was the top most subscribed creator on Twitch for a small period of time, which
Mm-hmm.
is incredible. To say a VTuber uh, was like the number one Twitch creator is like wild.
Mm-hmm.
So she most definitely deserves a spot. She currently continues to do a lot of great things, even outside of VTubing, just for like the Immunodeficiency Foundation. Just you know, I think she does great.
Mm.
I think she deserves the spot. Whether you think it's influence or you think it's notoriety or actual talent or being funny, I just think it is a no-brainer. Now the second or like third and fourth slots,
Yep.
that's when it gets a little difficult.
Yep.
I truthfully am at a bit of a loss
Mm-hmm.
because it's one thing to put your favorites up there, and it's a bit different to think about it properly and think, okay, who actually properly did important things.
Mm-hmm.
I would say for what she's done towards this, like for what she's like achieved and helped towards the space, and also what I've like she became like my first VTuber from the company to watch. I would say Corone from Hololive is a pretty big hitter. I
We have
think
we have very
she,
similar VTuber discovery journeys. Then I would say, which is
yeah, like it was Keith and I. Then I didn't really touch VTubers for a while because I didn't know it truly expanded much forward.
mm-hmm.
Then I saw Corona clips and I was like, okay, so Hololive exists. And Iron Mouse was also shortly after, and it's all gone from there.
Yep.
I final slot. I not too sure. I
You
think
don't have to put too much. I guess not too much importance on this one because this is the Theodore the Roosevelt slot when he put it up there because he was the one who commissioned the monument. So
oh, that's
this one could
funny.
be
That's really funny to
this
think
could be
about
the
it. Right?
wild card spot here. So it's all
The
you.
wild card spot. Okay. So, I feel like there's definitely a specific person that I think totally fits the spot, but I'm completely blanking right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like there's a right answer for me that I am missing. Um, Give me just a second.
Yeah, of course.
Hmm. The annoying orange.
Yeah,
The
okay.
oldest VTuber of all.
Kind of a curveball, but not completely out of the realm of possibility, I suppose.
I don't know. Like, I just truly couldn't think of. Because the thing is, I could put just, favorite creator up there, but I would feel like it's. They deserve their spot that isn't on a mountain.
Mm.
And they deserve it all, but, as you said, it's the funny spot. So I guess the annoying orange or other equivalently meme answers about people, about earlier creators on the internet that looked like VTubers.
Mm. Yeah, all right, cool. And that is a pretty good lineup for a Mount Rushmore. Let's see here. So, kind of beyond the more obvious issues, kind of like dramatic behind the scenes behavior, or corporate meddling. Besides the more serious kind of stuff, what would you say the VTuber community needs more work on?
Hmm. I would say, oh, jeez. Might be a bit controversial, but I think, um, sort of like opening itself up and for people to understand that VTubing shouldn't be a clique or shouldn't be, like when people say, for example, the LGBTQ community, it's not a community. I don't know every single LGBT person in the world. In the same way, VTubing shouldn't be about trying for every single person to be, sticking to certain amount of rules, to certain metas, certain like, things that you're supposed to be when you're a VTuber. Not everyone has to know everyone. For example, it doesn't have to get itself it doesn't have to guide itself by idol culture or by corporate VTubing culture. And it also doesn't need to necessarily like try to go against it like hard. Like if people want to be corporate and idol like, let them be, even if they're independent. I think it needs to be understood as well in the way like animation is a medium, not a genre. Like animation is not for kids. It's just a medium of storytelling or of artistic expression. The same thing can be said about VTubing. It has to be just a medium for expression and for content creation. There, people I think get too caught up in certain standards, certain things of like ways things have to be. Of course, like VTubing owes a lot of its roots to like anime stuff, but that doesn't mean that that doesn't really mean that you have to be like super into anime or be like super otaku. That does you know that does mean you don't have to like disrespect people who are into it. Like, oh, I'm a VTuber, but I hate otaku and I hate anime, and you weebs are so stupid. And I guess respect that people will be into anime and VTubing, and I guess the opposite as well. And also learn to move on. Like I think people really also get into a very us versus them attitude.
Yeah.
I and like if you see something that's not for you, you just go away. And you don't have to like I don't know, there's no right or wrong way to VTube. It should be just it is a medium and it is yeah, I guess that. Yeah, I'm just rambling, but it's basically just like it's a medium. There is no rules for it. There is no expectations for it, and people should be allowed to just be creators. People should also, if they want, you know, um, not call themselves VTubers if they don't want to. Like I understand the stigma, but I also understand that you shouldn't like just because there's someone who does really fucked up shit being a VTuber does not mean that that somehow reflects on other VTubers.
Right. Absolutely. All right. Um. Okay. Kind of with TwitchCon kind of over and done with this past weekend. What are your sort of experiences with conventions in general? Kind of either as like a con goer or perhaps maybe you've done an artist alley table before, anything like that.
I have thus far not gone to any conventions at all that are, VTuber related or content creation related, like at all. So I've gone to conventions and stuff for just like anime cons in the
Sure.
past,
Right.
and I've never been able to do like an artist alley type of thing, like selling arts in a con. But so I would say I don't have much experience, but I would definitely like to. I would like to go just for the sake of meeting people. I don't. I don't think I'm going to TwitchCon ever. Not anymore.
Sure.
But I would definitely look forward to going to Off Guy one day.
Right.
I think I'm holding off on going until I have many reasons for going. I would say.
Okay. Totally
So
fair.
until I can go as a creator, whether it be an artist or just a small creator as a streamer, I don't think I am going. Just because, even though I want to meet friends, I also want to make full use of the fact that I'll have to travel and also spend a lot and also, go. Like if I lived in the place where the conventions are, I would simply go. I do not live where the conventions are.
Yeah.
So
Now.
I won't go unless it's worth it for me.
Right. Yeah, it's totally fair. And kind of going off of that, if ever you were given the opportunity to do something like I don't know, like a meet and greet or like a booth or something like that, what kind of how would you want to go about doing that? Would you want to do like anything kind of special? Maybe like do like a wandering robot sort of situation, or maybe like a big the big iPad TV setup that some people have, anything like that.
I think I don't think I'll. As I've said before, I don't mind people seeing me, and so I think I would never really go as a robot.
Right.
Like, unless like, because I don't know, like maybe I don't know how it works exactly. Maybe it's like easy, maybe it's hard. But I think if I were to have a meet and greet opportunity, I would simply go to the event and meet people there. And if possible, like I really find really cool the things. For example, Jabroni Mike did like a lot 2 times. I think has done like a live version of his like game show he does with streamers. And having people participate and be able to experience that live would be a great thing for me. Like if not a meet and greet, like having something for people to do that's a bit more. It can be a bit more of a memory would be great. But if I could just do a meet and greet and that was it, you know, I do it. I'd also probably hold like an unofficial meet and greet since like maybe some people can't make it to the con or can't make it to the meet and greet or afford it. I would never do paid meet and greets, but maybe for X or Y they can't do it. I would probably be like, hey guys, we're at this like we're this corner right outside the con. Let's go meet up and like do something. Like maybe not entirely super safe, but I I would take the risk because I think if we're already there, if people already went to the con, then they deserve to, if they want to meet me, then to meet me.
Yeah. Okay. Cool beans. Love to see that. Do you have any goals for yourself for the next like year, or like 5 years? Like, where would you want to see yourself, ideally, in a year or 5 years time?
It's a bit hard to say because am more likely than not going to pursue more real life career things in the next few years. But if we extend the span of time further, let's say I go to study my career and I return eventually. If you apply the same like period of time, like let's do a time skip and then apply the 5 years later. I would like to continue and properly get into streaming such that properly make use of the opportunities I've been given. I just want to be a creator that other creators can be like, okay, we need 5 people. Okay, boom, boom, boom. Okay, Nem the last slot. Like just being someone who like people say like, okay, I want to play games, need a group of friends. Okay, Nem is always available. Or oh, okay, I want to do art and stuff. Need a group of friends. Boom, Nem is always there. I just want to be in consideration and be like known. I don't need to be like super famous. I don't need to have like thousands of viewers. If the way I am planning things goes right, I'm not even gonna be, you know, I'm not gonna be working off of streaming. Like it's not gonna be my career. But I would still like for it to be an enjoyable like thing. Like even if I don't have enough viewers to live off of it, I want to have enough for it to be really fun to do. And so what I want to do and how I see myself in the future is being able to stream for fun and truly enjoying it as my hobby and pastime, as like my recreational time outside of the, like my actual job.
Yeah, excellent. And while you may not seem like the kind of type to have any of these, but I am curious. Do you have any kind of like unreasonable or maybe even like selfish kind of goals, like any sort of big like brand deals you'd want to have, or any big kind of anything that's sort of like, maybe you don't like sort of say it out loud as like a goal, but it's something that you always kind of like think of a little bit,
Right. I feel like I definitely have these. I'm just really bad at, remembering stuff and keeping note. I definitely want to have like the power to do like certain things on a whim and it being easy to me. Whether it's like, oh, I want to make a plushie of like, for example, of my art and stuff. Let's say I create a character. I want to be able to be like, you know what? Screw you, plushie of my character. Just like randomly. I'm very likely to be in the future creating like stories out of my art. Just being able to be like, you know what? Screw you. Here's an animated project of my own story. Like just having the possibility to. My selfish goal is being in the creator space and having the opportunities and connections to just think of something and put myself into motion and put it out there.
Right.
That's my other, I guess, outlandish selfish goal is being able to just rock up on the DMs of any of my favorite creators and being like, yo, want to play a game? And they say like, yeah. Like just literally just being friends with the creators I look up to.
Yeah, that's a good one. I respect that. Awesome. What's next? Oh yeah, the VTuber content lightning round. In this segment, I will give you a popular kind of VTuber content, and I just want you to give me your sort of gut feeling, your quick kind of like just instant sort of reaction about each of these kinds of content, either from the perspective of making the content or from the perspective of viewing the content.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Seems fair. Yes.
All right. First things first. Reaction videos.
Good. Just talk. Just actually say stuff.
All right. Music, like song covers or even original music.
Great. Don't force yourself if you can't sing, because only if it's fun. Even if you can't sing, if it is fun, do it. Don't expect it out of yourself just because you're a VTuber. Don't be afraid to do covers. They're just as valid as original songs.
Absolutely. Various marathons, your subathons, donathons, followathons, those kinds of things.
Do it with a purpose. And do it with a purpose, or do it for the sake of those watching.
Right. Next up is different kinds of gaming content. So first things first, competitive gaming, stuff with like ranked modes. Think League of Legends, Marvel Rivals, Overwatch, those kinds of things.
It's okay. It would be really funny to see a VTuber be like top 10 in the world at a certain competitive game. It would be really fun.
Yeah, I know DokiBird is not like top 10, but she's pretty like up there in the Marvel Rivals leaderboards.
I did see her suffering to get like the highest rank or whatever it was.
Yep. Next up is speedrunning content.
Great, absolutely amazing. I think speedrunning is great, and I think it's also fun to do speedrunning when it's not games and it's just random stuff, and it can be funny.
Right. Okay. Challenge runs. Stuff like Nuzlocke or playing a game with only like using one item, that kind of thing.
It's great. I really like to see it. I also like to see when they force people who don't really do that thing to do it, like seeing people who are new to Nuzlocke have to suffer with like a Soul Link Nuzlocke, and it's like pure suffering. I enjoy suffering when it's not like actual physical suffering.
Right. Okay. And then the genre we have both sort of playfully dubbed friend slop. Your peaks, your repos, lethal companies, those kinds of games.
I think we need more of them, such that, and I think it needs to be. I don't know how to describe it, but I think it needs to be played with, like, people need to play it in a way that they don't burn themselves out, and it can be like a buffer between games. Like, you can always expect to see them return to that when it's a random thing. I would also love it to be like a platform for actually meeting people. Like, often you see the thing of many collabs, new people meeting like that. They should seek out to actually meet new people, and like put it, for example, a friends lobby of friends, but they don't know each other, but they might be able to work together. Put them in
Right.
the friends lobby. That's it.
Yeah. And then finally, like full plays, going through the entirety of a game over the course of several streams.
I think it's great. I think, please, if you can, if you want to edit it, that's fine. That's great. Please still give me the VODs in an easily accessible way, probably YouTube. I don't really like waiting, even though it would be funny to see it edited. Some people do amazing editing work with their content. If you can just give me the VODs, and I will watch it, and I like having many hours of content to watch.
All right. And that was the content lightning round. And so finally, we have a couple of art questions for you. So first things first, who or what would you say is the biggest inspiration for your art?
It's quite hard. Quite hard to say this. I think one of my top inspirations, it depends really on different styles of art that I look up to. In anime and manga styles, I would say Eiichiro Oda and One Piece are my biggest inspirations for style. More specifically, also Oda's styles outside of One Piece. The way he draws, like, people's faces so detailed, so expressive, yet so lifelike in the way that they look like people, and how varied their faces are. Amazing. I wish and I try to be able to draw and paint the way he does.
Yep.
As for, 3D art, I do a lot of 3D art. I would say would be hard to pin down specific people, but I in VTubing 3D art, I look up to uh this artist called Mao MV Jagaimo, I think is the username.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. MV Jagaimo, they do amazing 3D VTuber models that look almost exactly, or actually perfectly exactly like the 2D models, but they're rigged really well and move really well and, amazing work.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I would say just artists that can make a combination of stylized work and faces that look like actual people,
Mm-hmm.
and detailed rendering and rendering that combines stylization with actual realism. I don't really do any hyper realism. I don't like hyper realism. I don't find it interesting. I find it technically impressive, and that's it.
Cool. Awesome. Awesome. Do you ever get comments that are like, "Oh, your style reminds me of such and such"? And if so, do you what is the most common one that you get for that?
I don't think I do. I don't think I've ever had people compare my art style. Maybe because I don't often get too much attention. Because there's a threshold, I believe, for things like this. Like, there's a threshold of people, like, you get no comments, then you get some comments, and then you get, like, many comments and people saying, oh, it's nice. And then there comes the comments of people, more random people that go, like, oh, your style reminds me of this. And that's, like, the difference, right? Like, that's a big difference. And I so far haven't gotten too much comparison. I did see that we just got rated, but
Yep. Thank you, thank you, Joe Cat. I appreciate that. Oh man. Yeah. Keep going. Keep going. You were saying. Yeah.
yeah, just I haven't really gotten comparisons. I'm pretty sure maybe at some point I did get them, and I know that before in the past I did have art styles that were way closer to other styles. I remember Demon Slayer was a super huge inspiration a few years back, as well as Doctor Stone. So at that point, probably people did see that and go like, "Oh, that's probably it." And I did get comments about it. Currently, I have not, but I would like to ask people what they think about it.
Interesting. Do you accept commissions at all right now, or have you ever accepted commissions?
I do currently, and I have. Illustration commissions are more of a friend basis thing. Like, you come up to me and we're friends and we can talk it out.
Right.
I haven't really set up a vision or any sort of place where people can see like my illustrations so they can commission me. But I am willing to do something. I have done a recent commission. I'll put it in the art share so you can look at it in a real quick minute. Also, thank you Raiders and thank you Joe Cat for the raid. Welcome in.
Yeah, we appreciate
Sorry
that.
where you're super talking. Also, my throat is a little dry. I need to go drink water.
Yeah, get hydrate up. Might do the same thing.
Yes, I actually. Does this have water? I have my bottle here, but I think it's empty. Okay. So this is a little art that I did for someone's thumbnail, for a friend's thumbnail for their Mario Kart World stream, their first one, and
Yeah,
you surprisingly, I think it came out nice.
Yeah, absolutely. You want me to? Can I show it on stream? Was that that's cool with you?
Yes, of course. I also did see Joe Cat asking for a reintroduction. While you pull it up, I can introduce myself. Is that okay?
Yeah, of course, please. By all means.
Yes. Welcome in, Raiders. My name is Offanem, or just Nem, is what people call me, and I am an artist, 3D and 2D artist VTuber. I mostly do Minecraft model stuff. If you've watched, well, some people might know me. I feel like my art has been featured in Minecraft servers that people who are friends with Joe Cat might have seen. You maybe might have seen my stuff, but it would be hard to explain right now. So just assume if you've seen Minecraft models that are a little cool, like cosmetic models, maybe you've seen some of my work. If not, then my Twitter exists and you can find me. It's just OftenMX, and you can find it there, some of my arts.
Yeah.
And on the screen right now is one of my thumbnails. Not for me, but I do it.
Awesome. So anyway, the reason I ask about if you do comms, not specifically just so you can plug them, but you know, um, the reason I ask is because I was curious about what your sort of best practices are when commissioning artists. I know it's a lot. It varies from person to person, but yeah, I'm curious to know what you think about that.
Hmm. Okay, I think like that I would like people to do as clients or
Yes,
as
what would you want
yes.
to receive ideally from a client who's commissioning you?
Something that really helped with this one in particular is they quite literally sketched a quote unquote thumbnail, which is like, the rough version. Or I guess they just sketched their version of what they wanted to see. And that was amazing for me because I understood exactly the vibe they wanted. Like, I understood sort of the, like, the anime sparkles in the background, the crying, the hug, the everything. I just understood from the get go what they actually wanted. That's always great, even if you can't draw at all. Please, if you can, just include a little drawing of what your idea is. If you can, provide as much refs as possible. Provide them in as high quality as possible. I promise I'm not gonna steal your refs for nefarious means and purposes. I won't feed it to AI. I promise. I swear on my life. Please give me a high resolution image. I don't want to have to denoise it for the JPEG noise.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
also, if you can provide a ref that isn't accurate colors, I know it's not always a practice, but I do color pick for my stuff, especially for 3D model stuff. So if you can give me a thing with accurate colors, that would be great. I have no need to call. I don't want to call them out, and I don't want to sound mean about it. I have in the past received a person's ref that was actually like a screenshot from like a model in game, and so it was lit weird, like it was in a dark room,
Right.
but
Okay.
it didn't look like it was dark, and so when doing the thing, the skin color wasn't accurate, and then they showed me that they had a ref that was fully properly unlit and with all the colors, and I was like, oh, that would have been great first. That's my only thing. Ask as many questions as you can if you're a client. Please don't. If you think a thing I drew when I'm doing it sucks, tell me. I will change it. I would rather you tell me than not use my art or think it sucks or be angry at me. Just tell
Right.
me immediately, like, hey, change this, please, if you can. And that's it. I think that's it. Yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a pretty pretty decent, pretty standard, pretty good good qualifier there. So next question. With a lot of like sort of practices and disciplines and stuff like that for art, oftentimes you'll find yourself picking up new skills as you kind of go along with it. Have you had that opportunity to like sort of pick up on new things as you sort of like I guess continued your artistic journey, like just in general?
Yes, I think it's really funny. I'm like allergic to studying, like art studies. I learn new things and I get better at art just by doing a commission and needing to draw something I've never drawn before. And so I will be doing this and I maybe choose a pose for a drawing and suddenly I have to draw an elbow and I hate drawing elbows. And so I'm like, okay, I look 30 reference of elbows up and I draw it. And so I am allergic because I am, not disciplined to doing studies,
Right.
but I will quote unquote do studies as I'm doing a piece. Like if I need to draw like a really obscure part of the body in a really weird pose, it'll take me a while and I'll suffer trying to find reference for it. But I will eventually learn, and I find that then after in future pieces it comes easier to me, and I'm like, well, I learned. I do a lot of master studies, which is when you look at well, while I'm drawing, not in actual studies,
Right.
you look at artists you look up to and you see how they do things. And in sometimes, that's stylized. It's not realistic. It's not accurate to real life. So that's what people say you shouldn't sometimes do that. I personally do it because I want to draw like them. I don't
Right.
really. I'll learn realism eventually. For now, I want to draw things that look good,
Yeah.
not that look real. That's what
Absolutely.
I think.
Yeah. It's like have you ever heard of like the shrimp method of like learning stuff where
Yes. I haven't done it. I should do shrimp studies, but that's basically almost what I do when I do the commissions. Like I try to do something, I get it wrong, I look at 1,000 references, and I do it again.
right,
And the next time I do it blind, maybe I won't need the reference.
right, okay,
But yes, and for those who don't know, the shrimp method is basically you draw a shrimp from memory, you then look up reference of shrimp, see how different it is, then you draw the shrimp from reference, and then you draw another shrimp without the reference and see if you retain those parts.
yep. Um, are there any other like skills that you'd want to like pick up, or that you just haven't had the opportunity to yet? I know you say you do like Minecraft models, but any other kind of like 3D modeling or like I don't know, it could be something like totally
Yes.
random and stuff like that. I don't know.
No, yes, I definitely do. I've been trying to pick up Blender for a little while. I definitely have a 3D brain, which helps.
That's
But
good.
Blender
Yeah.
is quite complicated with, keybinds and shortcuts.
Yep.
It's a bit difficult to learn. But no, I've done sculpts. Those are pretty easy to get around because it's quite natural. But I definitely want to get properly into poly modeling. I want to be able to do like a little chibi low poly model of
Yep.
my own in the future.
Yeah, that'd be.
As for anything else, I think I'll get better at painting and rendering. I think understanding lighting a bit better. Also, I am actually suffering quite a bit. I'm going to get water because my water bottle was empty.
Yeah, of
I'm
course.
sorry we have to take a small little break. I
No,
will
it's
do
fine.
as fast as possible. Sorry, chat.
Yeah.
I will be right back.
It's okay. I guess I will take this time to give a quick eulogy to my my tablet pen, which unfortunately he broke towards the beginning of this interview, which is why I was not able to get the drawing up to the standard that I like to live by. But if we could get if we can get F's in chat for my poor tablet pen, I've had him since 2018. He has served well. He has done his tenure, but unfortunately he's gone. I'm gonna miss him so much. I'm gonna have a moment of silence for him. So if you'll be so kind. Okay. Yeah, man. This is rough, but yeah, he was in pretty dire straits for a while now, but alas, he couldn't live forever, man. But
May the tablet rest in peace, or the pen at least.
the pen, yeah. Oh my god, if this tablet was the thing that was broken, I would have crashed out way harder than I did with the pen.
No.
Oh man. Yeah. Welcome back. Welcome back. Yeah. You all hydrated up and whatnot.
Yes, I thought I could go on, but I didn't have any water, and it gets to the point where you're like,
Oh
especially
yeah.
with speaking, your throat gets like itchy, and like it becomes almost impossible. To not cough.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I kind of have one sort of quick question now that we're kind of towards the end of my list, and that is, what is your sort of media of choice to have on while you're like doing your art?
This is a great question, and I'm glad you asked it because I feel like it might not be that uncommon, but I feel like it's a bit crazy of me. It varies a little. It also depends on what type of art I'm doing. Some art I can do a little more mindlessly or like idly. Some art I really have to focus on. as for what I put in the background, it's two things mostly: music, and of course, just like videos or content that I can watch like idly.
Yeah, of course.
For music, it's often video game OSTs, but it very often is the same exact song in loop on loop for 5 hours,
Oh, okay.
and or either a a switch between a few songs, but listening to them for an uncomfortably long amount of time for a normal person. But it's sort of like it puts certain parts of my brain to sleep that allows other parts of my brain to wake up and properly do the arts. And so for drawing, I am very likely to have for drawing, I'm very likely to have the same song over and over, or a few songs over and over. For 3D stuff, I am more likely to have either a playlist or watching a video. If it's something that I can do more idly, if it's technical stuff that's a bit more repetitive and less artistic, like 3D stuff, for the stuff I do often requires me to like actually write some stuff to put some files so it works in game. And so while I'm doing that, I can watch videos and I can, it's mostly actually you mentioned earlier, I often watch reaction videos.
Okay.
Because I don't, if it's stuff I've already watched that they're reacting to, I don't need to know the context of what's happening. I just like to hear their reactions and sometimes see their faces,
Yeah.
And for that purpose, I often have, have my drawing tablet. I have my main screen and my side screen, and so that's the living the life, 3 monitors, super cool.
Yep.
Just yesterday, I was just playing a game, cooling off after some art stuff. My main monitor decided that it was no longer happy with its life, and it decided to malfunction. And
Oh, no.
Currently, luckily, I bought like a warranty for it, and I can return it and probably have it changed or repaired maybe.
Yeah.
But currently, I am sitting with a very small monitor, which is my side monitor in front of me, and my drawing tablet as my secondary monitor, where I have the stream pulled up.
Okay.
And needless to say, I am missing my third monitor, but I will survive.
That is a shame about that primary monitor. But yeah, I also have the triple setup here. Yeah. But those are all of my questions. And so, as is tradition with the show, I like to hand over the proverbial interviewer mic over to my guest so they can ask me any questions they might have.
All right. Okay. I have a few questions, but not too ordered. How do you... For me, right, I've been in a bit of a break from streaming recently, so...
Yeah.
How do you find, how did you find, or how do you find the sort of drive to just, like, get going and just do it and, like, keep it going? Because I can see that, I'm, of course, not the first guest of these. And I've seen that the previous guests, like, you've been going at these, like, pretty consistently, like, not daily, but, like, pretty close. And so, like, how do you just, like, I don't know, like, get up and go?
So, I think for me, a lot of it has been that I like doing these interviews, which I know sounds pretty like basic of a thing to say, but I think it's true. I absolutely love like getting to meet all sorts of new people. Like you were saying before, being able to meet creators that I've always wanted to meet, like Joe Cat, for instance. I loved his Monster Hunter content, his D&D content and stuff like that, and I like reached out to him one day and I was just like, hey, you want to do the show? And he was kind enough to say yes. So I think being able to do this show and do something that I like doing and meeting new people, I think is like a big part of it. Absolutely. It also like keeps me from like just like keeps me consistent in that I have people who I'm now beholden to in order to actually do streams and stuff like that. Because like I was feeling a bit, I'm not feeling a bit out of sorts, but I was like just kind of like, after like work today. But then I was like, oh shit, I have to, I have a show to do today, and then I got everything all set up like right before we were supposed to get started, and yeah, I think that is definitely what is keeping me going. Is this kind of like maybe mystery box? I don't know if that's the right term for it, but like this sort of
I think I get it. It's sort of the like having a like knowing that, for example, oh, you ordered something and it arrived home and you have to get to home from work and you're like, oh boy, well, I'm excited to get through the day because I have something to look forward to.
Yeah, it's kind of like uh it's kind of like if like having I was gonna say Christmas, but I guess Hanukkah is more appropriate. Like just like like set days where I can come home and I can have like basically just like gifts like waiting for me when I get home. I think that
I get it. Yeah.
it's that thing of I have a bunch of these scheduled, I have a bunch of these planned out and all of that, and it is just very nice to be able to like go through this process every single time I do it.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. I feel like I've said something similar to this before, but I feel like I keep having things in my brain that's like, okay, I want to see this, but it doesn't really come to the front of my mind. But I think I'll ask about your design. What sort of inspired it? Why did you go with it?
So I think first and foremost, it is like it's been kind of how I've drawn myself for the longest time. Like it's like specifically like the hair, the green eyes, the facial hair, that sort of thing, is very much how I would like draw myself, just kind of like when I was like sketching and whatnot. I think the like coat and the sort of and that kind of thing is inspired by kind of like JRPG bosses, the kind of sort of dramatic like anime-esque bosses. Think like Magus from like Chrono Trigger, that sort of thing.
Right.
And the turtleneck is like an Archer reference. I don't know if you're
Like
familiar.
the TV show?
Yep. Because he's always talking about there's a bit that he always likes wearing turtlenecks on like missions and stuff like that. And I think that is in and of itself a Burt Reynolds reference, but I'm not super familiar. And then the horns, every time I'm asked about the horns, because obviously they're very, not to toot my own horn, but they're very unique in that they're kind of like, sort of lava lamp-esque. The initial like I like the design itself and the inside is like based off of the Kirby Crackle from Marvel Comics.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yep, that's the sort of cosmic energy that's like kind of like a bunch of different like blobs and dots and stuff like that. And then the shape is it is the same shape as the Succubi from the Disgaea franchise. The sort of like beveled, like curved up sort of horn, and yeah, I guess I don't know what made me decide to have it be like like a sort of crystal. I think I just liked the way that putting the very distinct like shading and highlighting on it to make it look like glass. I think I just like how that looked when I drew it. And so I was like, yeah, fuck it, whatever. They're crystals now. They contain cosmic energy in them and stuff like that.
I think you know, horns can be really varied.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's definitely horns. There's ways to make horns unique, and I think yours definitely hits like they're a really classic shape, but the way the what makes them unique is like like you said, their glassy appearance and also the sort of like two-sidedness of it. Instead of being like round, it's sort of like very faceted, I guess.
Yeah, it's like like a sort of beveled, like kind of diamond shaped look.
Well, let me think. I guess, what's your? Do you have any other plans for other shows similar to this, or different from this, in the future? Like, if you have Sketchalog continue for however long it will, are there any other things like it that you like to have?
So I did last Wednesday. I had on my friend Kua, and we she went over doing like live 2D rigging with me. Where she made like a sort of scuffed model for me, and I like along with her instructions I did the rigging for it, and actually this is the fruit of my labor is this. The art is hers, but the rigging was done by me.
Oh,
Yeah. And so I called that show that segment that show the boss of tutorials, because my lore is that I am a JRPG tutorial boss, and so
you're basically going through like someone teaching you how to do something, and that's
yep.
like the final boss of tutorials, doing the entire thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like I am sort of exchanging information. I'm doing other tutorials and sort of learning how to do things from an expert, essentially. And also, as you probably saw in the Sketchalog chat, I put out a call to the people in there if they wanted to have me sort of kind of like guide them through like sort of drawing, or even just like be someone to like practice with or whatever. Yeah, I think I would.
I think that sounds. It's sort of like the. I think it's a fun concept. It's sort of like the opposite of. I won't name exactly what it is, but I've seen some. Like, for example, someone who is. Well, you said you would also teach someone things that you are good at. That's like the opposite.
Yep.
But I think the concept of having someone who knows something come teach you specifically and have that change every time is quite a good concept, because it lets you highlight a specific artist or a specific creator of some kind of thing, lets you teach the chat as well what they do and how they do it, and it lets you, like, you know, sort of learn. And it can also be funny, like, that it can be hard to do certain things. So
Yep.
you know, it's a good concept. I would like to see who else you invite, if you would ever like to have me for, you know, Minecraft stuff, because
Yeah.
I couldn't really teach you drawing, because, you know, you already know drawing. Like, even if I were to, like, I could only teach you really specific things of drawing that, you know, like, it wouldn't be as much of a show that, like, 3 stuff. But if you would like to learn how to do Minecraft stuff and, you know, sort of pixel art things, I can, I would love to be on the show.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that would be awesome. Yeah, and like even I wouldn't even like wanted to limit it to just like doing art. I think I'm also speaking with a couple of voice actor friends to kind of get like try and do some of that. Just have the series kind of expand to like all different kinds of disciplines that VTubers are kind of known for.
That makes sense. I think, yeah, and VTubers can be very varied. Like, if you think about it, like VTubers can even do like cooking. They
Yep.
can do so much stuff. Like, if you get, it's I think it's great. It also lets people appreciate just a bit more what people do, because like it's one thing to be like, oh well, this VTuber sings, or this VTuber makes music, or this VTuber does voice acting.
Yeah.
But sometimes for some viewers, it's not. They don't really. They aren't able to grasp just how much goes into it and how difficult it can be.
Exactly. Exactly. Because like I know that when like before the stream with her name was Kua Go the Owl. We did the 2D live 2D thing. Like thinking about doing rigging was like hieroglyphics to me. I had no idea how like live 2D worked. It was very confusing to me. And then I kind of like just over the course of the stream, I was just like, oh, this is just a sort of like it's a process for sure, but it's not anything that's like you don't need like a degree in order to like do rigging, you know.
Right.
And
I think,
with
yeah, I think it can also do the opposite. Like you said, I was saying like people maybe think it's don't know that how hard it can be. It can also be the opposite of people maybe think it is entirely impossible to do, but they don't know that it could actually be much simpler than they think.
exactly, yeah. I think I think besides that, I don't really have any other like specific like structured show ideas. I think I wouldn't be opposed to doing more. I did a stream with a friend of mine, Cutie. We did like a draw pile stream where we just like drew VTubers as like classic movie monsters, for Halloween. I think other like draw pile streams like that would be kind of fun. But yeah,
I always like drawing things from memory. I think it is always a thing that you can do with many different things. I think having many artists over would be fun for that. So maybe even if it's on a show, just
yeah,
a
exactly.
good idea to have.
But I think the at the end of the day, Sketchalog and Boss Tutorials are kind of the two show ideas that I have right now that I think are ones that I kind of have nailed down the idea for.
Okay. I guess. Oh, this is a very specific question to you. How would you say it is to have a cool manager like Sin?
It is so. I think. Well, it's absolutely been helpful for sure because for one, I don't think I would have gotten anybody that I've had on for the past like month and a half if it wasn't for her. I think I was worried because I was like starting to run out of guests at the time like right before I hired her. And now I'm flushed until like December. So that's one thing. She is the kind of person who I think, especially for someone like me who has a tough time focusing on things because I have like 1.5 billion things going on at once, she is incredibly helpful to have someone who can just like look at what is going on and just be like, you need to do this. Like this is something that you have to do. I think it is a little like rough for being someone as impatient as I am, in that like I know she has other obligations she has to do. I know she has like a lot of stuff she has going on, but man, like when you're kind of thinking about like the fact that you paid for management services and you're kind of like seeing like the days of the month go by and you're like, oh man, I kind of wish I was like doing a little bit more, but I think when I think about it like more after like beyond just that, her like what she does is incredibly helpful. And we've got a couple of projects in the future that I'm kind of putting together that are that I would not be like remotely close to being able to do without her help. So that is another very, very helpful thing.
Right, and I think it's also possible that having the help will eventually allow you to even do more stuff because like once you sort of like integrate the help that she gives, then you can just like do more stuff that you can handle on your own instead of having like Sin manage the things you want to do currently.
Yes.
You get help with some things so you can do even more things, and it works out.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. We're trying to work on, I think, short form content right now, which I had absolutely zero like hopes of getting done before working with her. So, yeah.
Right. I'm not sure I have I don't know if I have any more questions that I can properly formulate.
Hey, that's totally fine. If that is the case, then we are more than able to end with the and the show now. If you have anything you want to plug, where can the people find you? Where do you mostly reside? Give us all your links, all your if you have any affiliate codes, maybe that would all be
Oh man,
stuff to put
I wish
in.
I had an affiliate code. In the future, I might try to get a Fortnite creator code just because it's funny. But no. Links just Twitter and Twitch, same username, OftenMX. You have it in the title if you want to chat. Currently, just doing art stuff. Gonna be doing a bit more actual art posting soon because I did a lot of commissions that I haven't done. Like, it's hard. It's not like a piece of paper. It's not art stuff. It's more like model stuff that goes in a game.
Yep.
And so I have to properly show it off in a little GIF or video and put it on Twitter. So eventually you will see stuff that I've done for creators that you might know. And I will also be streaming soon-ish. Definitely look forward to... I have this thing right here. It's a survival multiplayer like server with a specific gimmick of like it's called like what's it called? It's called Invasion Parasite. It is being hosted by Lucia Krabs, and it's gonna be really cool. And it's not exactly a secret, but I'm gonna be on it.
Ooh.
And it'll be quite a cool thing. So I'm trying to find the tweet, but it's a bit buried. Here it is. I'll share the link with you. And so basically look forward to that server because it'll be interesting and you might see me there and see me possibly, maybe, most likely die, but hopefully not. Where would I be able to share the link with you if I wanted to?
You can just send it direct to me. It's fine.
Okay. I'll message it to you. And yeah, so look forward to that. It is sometime next month, I think.
Awesome. And then before we send you off to somebody else, I have one thing I'd like to plug, which is if you see the overlay on the top there, I'm working with my friend Arca on her charity initiative, Battle for Booba, which is benefiting the National Breast Cancer Foundation. Any amount of support helps. That'll be awesome. I'm also offering a few illustrations kind of like this with a bit finished once I get a new tablet pen. But yeah, we have all of that on to offer. The link should be in my Twitch bio. And yeah, that is all I have to say about that. Let's see here. Who is? Arca is streaming, but she still hasn't done that yet. Do you have anybody that is streaming right now that you'd want to raid into? I could always send someone.
Yes, actually, I believe I do have someone. I'll send you the link. I think currently she's doing a subathon of sorts. However, it is. Actually, I don't know if it's a subathon, but it's like a marathon.
Okay.
It is, however, Little Nightmares 3. So if people don't want to see spoilers, maybe they should look away. But if they do not mind, then a friend of mine.
Oh, I'm familiar with Goosty. Okay.
Okay.
Right. Let's. Sorry, Raiders from Joe Cat's channel that you are being sent off to somebody else, but that's television, baby. But yeah,
How it goes? You get bounced around.
exactly. But yeah, thank you once again, Dan, for stopping by, and yeah, that has been
Yeah, thank you for
Sketchalog.
having me. It was pretty nice.